Okay, continuing to talk about the work environment, and in this case, it's going from hurt to purpose. It can be relatable in every type of relationship, but in the workplace is what I elaborate on, and just looking for detailed examples of navigating toxic relationships and strategies for self-empowerment, and some simple real-life examples that may help people or give them other ways to think about it for themselves. So navigating toxic work relationships in the workplace for self-empowerment. Navigating toxic relationships in the workplace can be challenging and emotionally draining. However, it's essential to develop strategies that can empower yourself and promote a healthy work environment. Here are some key strategies for self-empowerment when dealing with toxic relationships in the workplace. I mean, it's just the fact that, to not speak on toxic work environments because we feel as though some may say, well, you just need to get out of that environment, go to another environment, and then you're like, oh my God, this one is toxic also. You go to another one, this is toxic also. What I have learned over the years is that learning about different personalities, first I had to learn about my own personality and what are my strengths and weaknesses in my personality, and then learning about other people's. Okay, I got cut off there a minute, but learning about other people's personalities as well. You start to develop and see how, once you understand other people, easier it is to solve problems. Easier it is to not get involved in toxic situations. You know how to, get through them in a better way, where it doesn't become overbearing. But that's a big key, is to know your personality first, and then you'll understand other personalities. Not understanding in a way to be a enabler and say it's okay for them to be toxic. No, I'm not saying that. Understanding them in a way to where you set your boundaries, you say what you're going to tolerate, what you're not going to tolerate, and but you do understand a little bit more of why people act the way they act, and that's where that radical acceptance come in, where we can't change people, and they are the way they are. But it helps to where you know how certain people act, so you know how to approach them. But if they're like unbelievably, unbearably toxic, the small things don't matter. Like doing the small things you would do for normal people that you can approach and talk to. Normal people can come to a agreement that's, y'all can come together in agreement somehow, and understand each other. But when it's someone that has a really bad mental problem, or they just are not they're going to attack you, they're not going to let you talk, they're too grandiose, all those other things that makes it difficult to survive in that environment, then it might be time to, get out. Your safety is number one. So navigating toxic relationships in the workplace can be challenging and emotionally draining. However, it is essential to develop strategies that empower oneself and promote a healthy work environment. So, here are some strategies for self empowerment when dealing with toxic relationships in the workplace, and then I'll give you some real life examples on these four things. The first one will be setting boundaries, the second one is seeking support, the third one is practicing self care, and the fourth one is professional development. So, I won't go into each one of those right now into detail, but I did want to give some simple real life examples of each one. And so, an example of the first one under setting boundaries, say for example, Sarah, a marketing manager, faced constant criticism and micromanagement from her supervisor. She decided to have a candid conversation with her supervisor, clearly outlining her boundaries regarding communication and feedback. So by setting these boundaries, Sarah was able to establish a more respectful working relationship with her supervisor. So it sounds like, Sarah's supervisor was, a pretty cool person where she was rational, she wasn't over the top, and, this was a good outcome because these are two normal people, no grandiose behaviors in that, and no off the wall, off the chart egos going on. So she was able to establish a more respectful working relationship. Micromanagement is it can tear an organization down, a department down, depending on how people do that. It's a way to do it without being on somebody's back, the micromanagement part. The next one, number two, seeking support. This one we'll call John, found himself caught in a toxic rivalry with a coworker who constantly undermined his work. He sought support from his mentor within the organization, who provided him with guidance on how to address the situation professionally. With his mentor's support, John was able to navigate the toxic relationship effectively and maintain his professionalism. So again, seeking support with those I call like-minded people, someone that you can trust, that you think you can trust, you've watched a while and y'all have a good rapport, and you share ideas and situations with, and you can work through some of those toxic relationships with like-minded people, especially a mentor. And so if you can be a mentor to the people that you work with, to help them not, blow a gasket because someone is bothering them and targeting them and belittling them and bullying them in the workplace. Instead of turning your head or sweeping it under the carpet or acting like you don't see anything, if you have the strength to, if you want to, nobody's telling you to do anything, nobody's requesting you to do anything, but sometimes there are people in the organization that want to speak up and want to help and do not want to see certain people suffer, or do not want to see people go home and hurt. And they see the badness that people are doing to other people. Sometimes we become enablers and say, oh, you just got to ignore them. They're this way because they've had a hard life, or they've been through so much, and, it's okay for them to talk to you. It's not okay for them to talk to you that way. It's not okay for them to belittle you. It's not okay for them to bully you. But there are some mentors within the organization that you can go to that will help you get through these type of behaviors, so that you don't get yourself in trouble, so that you can have a clear mind and learn how to deal with it before you go home, and so you're not taking this stress on and just eating you up in a bad way. So let's go to number three. An example for number three, practicing self-care. This one we'll call Rachel experienced high levels of stress due to a toxic work environment characterized by office politics and gossip. She made self-care a priority, by practicing mindfulness and meditation during her breaks and engaging in regular exercise after work. These self-care practices helped Rachel manage her stress levels effectively and maintain a positive outlook despite the toxicity around her. So what you do when you go at home, besides going home, chilling in the recliner, putting on the TV, watching some more stressful news and the killings and the horrible negative stuff. You want to do something positive for you and for your body and things that make you feel good. I know you're tired, but once you start doing things on a regular basis, as far as working out, as far as walking, as far as just getting quiet for yourself, it starts to become a routine, and you won't even know when you stop saying, I'm so tired, I'm so tired. You won't be tired. You're going to have more energy to do more. Trust me. And so I'll end this by saying implementing these strategies and learning from real life examples, individuals can empower themselves when faced with toxic relationships in the workplace and strive towards creating a healthier work environment for themselves. So if people can get away with belittling you, if people can get away with bullying you, and then you watch other people become an enabler, the flying monkeys to them, and you feel alone, you're not alone. You just got to find like-minded people and the right people to help you through, and you got to help yourself. All right, peace. I'm out.